sassy, a little bit crazy, a little bit classy. We got dreams and we got goals. We're just a couple of old sassholes.
Hello.
Take two. Take two. It helps when the mics are on.
That we learned that today.
Yeah, and no one saw it, so I'm just going to say you did it.
Yeah, it's Heather Terry. Hello, everyone. Welcome to A Couple of Sassholes. I'm Brooklyn Maple.
And I am Heather Terry.
And this is our podcast of things that kind of bum you the fuck out, but also make you more alert in a dark alley. Right?
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
loved that.
Thank you.
You like that? You do those little quips a lot.
I do. I practice them in my
you?
shower. No, I don't.
I bet I wouldn't
Not-
be shocked if you had a
can
spreadsheet.
see. I mean,
Yeah.
look alive. You know? So it is December 18th.
Yes.
We are so close to the big dance. Christmas, my favorite holiday.
The big dance.
The big dance. So
That's
now
a
every
big
time I
one.
look at the Christmas tree, I'm like, fuck yeah. But remember, we're getting closer to the sad day, December 26th, the day after Christmas. That's just bummer bear nation for me.
Oh my.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
Yeah, that's a lot. Well, sorry, I'm hungover. I'm gonna own it, and I'm gonna own it.
I had to own it last time. Man,
Yeah.
I edited that podcast and I was like, damn, Brooklyn, I could feel the Grinch punch just soaking through the microphone.
Yeah, so my apologies, but I'm gonna bring my A game.
Yeah.
A game is gonna be brought in.
Solid. That's what I was hoping for. I was like, as Heather's talking about her A game, I had to schedule my alarm for 7 a.m. to wake up and fucking do my research. So that should tell you what kind of A game. No, I will say I've done the required reading. I feel researched and ready to go. But it was also some pressure. Every time I wait until the last minute, my butthole is puckered like you wouldn't fucking believe. I'm always like, shit fire, Brooklyn, like, you're better than this. And then I look in the mirror and I'm like, but are you? This is hard. It's hard. You know, it's harder to do this almost during the holidays than it is any other time because there's so much going on.
Yeah.
And then like your headspace just isn't in the place to just look up murders.
Yeah, you want to be happy, but it's okay.
Yeah.
This is going to be our last episode of the year. Jess?
Yeah, I think so.
It is.
Unless somehow we said, no, there is no way.
No, there's no way because I'll be out of town.
Yeah. And then we
So-
might be recording on like New Year's Eve.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But that'll be for the first of the year.
Yeah. And that's the only fucking way it's going to. So if it didn't happen, guys, it's because fucking party arms were flailing all around town.
Oh, you just saying that made my stomach turn.
Oh,
Party arm.
party arm. Should be out and popping.
Man.
Like Mary fucking Poppins. That's me and my party arm. We'll see. We're super excited. So we're going to meet up with Heather and Will for New Year's Eve for dinner, which I'm super pumped about. I still need to bump that reservation 30 minutes. We might just go. As long as they don't care because it's a 4-top and it's 2 people, we might just come early. I think we're going to have a designated driver drop us off and pick us up so that we can enjoy ourselves the entire, like,
Good.
no one is worried about having that third bourbon. So
Good.
I am so excited about it. It's all fun and games in theory, unless it's fucking 0 degrees out and I'm going to hate everything.
Well, you know that we're going to Brasher's Little Nashville afterwards, and the theme there is Space Cowboy, and we picked out our suits. We are wearing space suits with cowboy boots. I'm going to put fringe on mine. It's going to be great. So we're going to be at dinner.
I know.
Okay,
I'm
I
pretty
just
sure
wanted
that
to
Travis and I are suiting up.
make sure you...
Like, I was like, let's get fucking dressed out, like dressed up like we're going out and then come home.
There you go.
So he might be
So
all
y'all...
buttoned up with our cowboys, our space cowboys.
I just wanted you to know.
It's going to be great. I wouldn't have it any other way. That's just literally the synopsis of a good year of our friendship.
Yeah.
You guys in costumes and us in nothing that makes sense.
Listen,
sitting next to you guys.
Terry's, we do like to dress up.
That
Will
you guys
pretends like
do.
I make him do it, but
That's bullshit.
Thank you.
That is such bullshit.
Thank you very much. Will
I love
Terry,
you,
did you hear
William.
that?
But that is bull.
Did you hear that?
Shit.
I know. Well, thank you for saying that, because everybody's like, you make him.
No,
They
you
even
don't.
said it last night, and I was like, nope.
Nope.
I would have FaceTimed you if it was at 1 a.m.
Yeah. No, not at all. Will loves it. He's
Yeah.
all for it. He
Yeah.
takes it seriously. It's his jam.
He knows.
Yeah.
He has to. He has no choice.
Yeah, but see, and that's why they think it's you making him.
I
That's
mean-
what it is. That's why people think you're like, he
Yeah.
has to be good at it. But he finds a lot of joy in it.
He
He's
does.
proud of what he comes up with, as he should be. He's really fucking good at it. He is way better than with me and Travis and all of our efforts. We no. If someone was like, I put you into a competition, even in that, me and Travis, who are competitive, we wouldn't even compete. We'd be like, fuck this. I'm not even doing it. I'll wear a fucking blanket and be a ghost.
Boo. My friend did that like 10 years ago. She would cut out. She took him off her bed because she didn't have a costume, and she was going out with me, who I have the best costumes. I was Kate. What's her name? Kate Gosselin. John and Kate +8, and I had baby dolls around my wrists, and I had the wig and everything. And then my friend's dog. I stayed at my friend's house, and then her dog chewed up all the baby dolls.
Oh man,
8 of them. So I woke up to baby doll massacre the next day.
That's wild.
I know.
So I signed up for the Apple Plus for 3 months free, that's how they get everyone. If it's 30 days, people can remember. 90 days, ain't nobody remembering shit.
But you, though.
I know, I won't forget. It's March 17th. Anyway, so I made a mental note, and I was like, I will not forget this. To watch Spirited with Will Ferrell and, what's his name?
Oh, what's his name?
You already know. Ryan
Reynolds.
And Travis, I was just looking over at Travis, and he was just like alive, and I was like, he was like, I would really like the movie if it wasn't for all the singing, because it's a musical, and I struggle with musicals too, but it's Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell for a Christmas movie where they pulled out every fucking stop for it. So it's like, it's just a beautiful masterpiece to watch. Like,
Ryan Reynolds is a beautiful masterpiece.
I know.
He's a little,
he's the reason for it. He's the reason for the season.
Oh my God. He's a little bit skinnier for my type, but he's still hot.
I love how he is too skinny. He is not skinny.
I know, he's like
super
littler
buff.
than I normally would be attracted to. Is that coffee in the cup?
It is coffee. And that's why I try to sip it so gingerly so I don't burn my mouth, but nothing came out.
I saw that. It looked like whenever you're watching the TV and you're always like, there's nothing in that cup, whenever the actors drink out of a cup on movies, and you like to play
call that
producer.
out because they never fucking are. Anyway,
that's what
we should probably
should we talk about stuff?
We should talk about stuff.
What do you want to talk about?
Probably our stories.
Do you want the drink?
Oh, I forgot about the drink, and actually I'm really looking forward to the drink.
That?
I know. And also the fact that it's fucking frigid, guys.
Oh my gosh, it is cold. It is
so cold that I can't even really cope with it. And it's about to be next week on Friday, 0 degrees.
When this comes out, the next day will be 0.
Yeah. So everyone, Google, if you're a homeowner, what you need to do when frigid temperatures.
Oh my gosh. And bring your dogs inside. Don't have outside dogs.
Yeah. No.
I'll come get them.
I know. Yes, you will. Okay, here's our drink.
Okay, this is Smirnoff Ice Red, White, and Merry Holiday Punch. I do feel
I'm so excited about this.
I know. When I bought it, I knew you would like it. So you go first.
My mouth was already on the straw when she said that. So let's talk about it.
It smells good.
It smells like I'm a preteen and I have a creepy uncle, you know what I'm saying, who slips you a Smirnoff. Anyway, I didn't have a creepy uncle like that.
What did you? I kind of like it.
I love it. I'm going to sip this bitch and I'm slurring at the end.
I couldn't have like a lot of them because that's where my headspace goes to. I'm not really a one and done kind of drinker, you know?
What?
That's
I had no idea. I had no idea you enjoyed a beverage now and again.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, shitty things to talk about that I might as well address now is that I'm doing Sober January. So that will mean that Heather will, up to her, decide if she wants to continue to try a beverage on the podcast. I would if I were you. Mm-hmm. If the tables were fucking turned, I would sip a fucking drink in front of you and feel 0% guilt.
You wouldn't. I mean, I feel like that's understood agreement in our friendship that you choose that, and and that's
this
cool,
is my solo journey.
You know that you're choosing that, and then and if anyone wants to do that, good for you. Yes. I will not.
Dry January, we are ready for it. So we're doing a huge clean out of everything, which means I'll probably get close to the brink of death on New Year's Eve so that I can live off the alcohol that's still pumping through my system for 4 days out. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
We always do it and we feel good whenever we do it. And so I'm semi excited for it just because I've been full of merriment for 3 months, 4 fucking months basically. So I won't be drinking, but I will still come with enthusiasm.
1 day a week.
That's your plan?
And then have 1 or 2 on this. Depending if they don't fall on the same day. But one party arm day a week. Which normally I only do 2 or 3. So
it's like Friday and Saturday are certain party arm days.
that is true.
And then
So now
a
I'm just gonna
random
pick a
party arm
day.
day can like stumble into life.
Sometimes.
Definitely in the summer.
Oh,
Party
yeah.
arm days, that arm be
Mine swings a lot.
fucking limber. Should be stretched out, ready to go. I get that.
Anyway, this is a good drink.
Yes, very good.
I'm not normally I am a little bit embarrassed about Smirnoff. I don't know why.
I'm not anymore.
But I'm like,
It's so nostalgic getting those red, white, and berry ones for the 4th. Like we always grab a 6-pack. You and I, like we've gotten that after we tried it for some reason. You had bought it for something. I don't remember the story of it.
for sport probably.
Yeah, I think we were hanging out like 2 or 3 years ago in July, and we fucking had those, and I was like, that's something you have to have every July. At least a 6-pack of those. They
I
just
love
taste
when
delicious.
we do one thing and then we're like, this is our tradition.
Everything that Heather and I have ever done that we've enjoyed has now become
That is
an annual
true.
tradition.
That is very true.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to dive in? You're
Like
going,
our crab legs on Becky Christmas.
oh my gosh, y'all, we're having Becky Christmas.
On sadly December 30th. It's a little far away.
Yeah, well,
But we needed the it had
schedules
to be
aligned that way.
yes, it
It's not
needed
like
to
we-
be a perfect scenario.
Yeah.
Like we needed things to work exactly how we wanted them to work, and
Yeah.
they shall. And now we have 4 pounds of crab legs that are going to
Oh my
be
gosh, thanks Sam's
smothered
Club.
and buttered. They were $20 off 2 motherfucker Sam's Club, man. Okay, I'm going to talk about my story.
I need to check and make sure they're not expired.
They're not.
How heartbreaking.
They're frozen anyway. That's not something we have to worry about with those.
Okay, good.
It's not. It wasn't raw chicken. Everything's fine. Thank you for printing out my story too, Heather.
Oh, you're
Heather. I don't know
you
why I
lean
leaned in
into
real
it
hard.
like you're a bingo caller.
I know, right? Okay, so I looked at People Magazine, that UK website that I use all the time that I can't remember, and I closed the tab and fucking fuck. Oxygen, a lot of Oxygen. I also watched
need a lot of
Oxygen. I also spent $5 on Homicide for the holidays, which is what this is saved as. So I'm going to watch a lot of that before everyone gets home because I'm the only one that wants to hear about Homicide around the holidays, apparently. And Murderpedia.
Okay,
Okay, let's do this.
let's do it.
Let's wrap it up. Let's make it happen. I'm also going first, everyone, because mine is the meaty, sad one of the. I'm sure Heather sucks dick too, but mine's a little meatier because of the
What did you-
storyline.
Heather's sucks dick. That's what you said, yes?
Like, yeah, Heather's.
Okay, it just sounds like you said, and I'm sure Heather sucks dick. That's what it sounds.
We all know that. Anyway, so in Dayton, Ohio, on Christmas Eve of 1992, the lovely and rather quiet Danita Goulette's family waited for her to return from work to start their holiday celebration. Her mother had prepared their annual holiday meal of chili and cornbread, which honestly sounds so fucking amazing right now because we live in Antarctica. She was only 18 years old, and she did have a 2-year-old child. So eventually her sister, Dr. Rhonda Gruyette, the oldest of the 8 brothers and sisters, told their mother, they were like, we just have to delay our plans until next morning. And she took Danita's 2-year-old daughter, and they went home. And so from what I can see, this is a hard one. I say that, and then I watched Oxygen, because Oxygen has 6 days of slaying.
Really?
I hate that it made me chuckle because that's fucking terrible.
You know that Oxygen
or it's
comes
6
in with
slays
the-
of day, something like that. They crushed
6
it.
geese a slaying.
Yeah, something. It's horrible though.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had come under the assumption that it was like the west side of Dayton is where everything happened. And for the most part, it didn't look like it was like a great side of town, but it also didn't look like a bad part of town. Mm-hmm. Looked like people who are working hard to pay their bills type of situation.
Yeah.
So anyway, that same night, Dayton homicide detective Doyle Burke's pager alerts him to a shooting outside of a telephone booth. And the victim was a teenage girl who was shot in the chest, legs, and the hand, all defensive wounds.
Ugh.
So the police also found something unusual at the crime, which is a .25 caliber Blazer aluminum bullet shell casing. So I don't know enough about guns to know shit about fuck on this one. But what the guy says, the detective Burke, he goes, it will kill, but that's not what it's designed for. So essentially, this bullet casing is found throughout the nights of terror that we're going to talk about. And I don't want to say it's like a bullet gun because I didn't fucking Google it and I don't know, but it seems like it's not meant to kill people. It's not one of those bullets that when it hits, like it expands and ripples through your body to where it's very unlikely for you to live. Even if you didn't die from like the wound, some fragment could still kill you anyway. Huh. So I'm thinking I saw the guns and it's a very short barrel. So it just seems like almost those I don't want to say a play gun because it obviously wasn't a play gun, but like it just didn't look like some mobster's big ass fucking barreled gun. Yeah. Yes. Like if you got pistol whipped by it, you're probably going to be like, bitch, why'd you hit me?
Did you pinch me?
I know. Yeah. It wasn't nothing crazy. Okay.
Stop tickling me.
Yeah. So the police identified Danita from the school books in her backpack. So sad. Her shoes and coat were also missing. Family members said that the flannel coat was secondhand and worth very little. Like her sister was like, it's worth $1. But she had like Fila tennis shoes that were really expensive. So let's stop and just take like this little moment where it's like it's so easy to read through the story quickly and understand the body count that we're going to go through. But an 18-year-old mother on Christmas Eve is gunned down simply by talking on the phone and then robbed of her shoes and her coat and left like trash on the street. They got a $1 jacket and maybe back then like a $60 pair of shoes. And now she is a 2-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah. And a big family that is without her, that now they lost her on Christmas Eve.
Wow.
So the next 48 hours, there's an onslaught of murders until the perpetrators are eventually found. It wasn't long before Burke's pager buzzed again, as I keep saying pager, remember 1992.
I know, I was going to ask you what year it was.
92. And so when I was seeing the videos too, like, I don't think 92 seems that far, like that old. And then you see the cop cars and you're like, oh my God, it was so long ago.
Yeah. You were 5 and I was 7.
Yeah. The pager buzzed and there's another deadly shooting, and this is on Christmas Day.
No.
So this time the victim was 19-year-old Richard Maddox. He was shot in the right side of the head at close range from someone who was likely in the passenger seat of the car. A witness, this is where the luckiness kind of like, this is a horrible crime spree, but it's wrapped up into a fucking neat bow for the court.
Okay.
Witnesses say that they saw a young woman jump out of his moving car before the vehicle hit a tree and stopped. The shooting took place just a few miles away from where Danita was gunned down. Apparently, the vehicle was driving at pretty high speeds. She ends up like injuring her ankle from it.
Oh.
So then everything starts to happen really quickly. The next day, the cops go to speak to Richard Maddox's family, and they're like, he doesn't have any enemies, but he also really doesn't have a lot of friends either. They mention that he has a girlfriend named Laura Taylor. Laura Taylor is a 16-year-old black female who is like known by her priest as being like a good daughter. Through this point, they actually think Laura was like abducted in the series of whatever. They were concerned for her. So she was apparently missing because they contact her parents. And they're like, we don't know where she is. Then I was like, I have so many questions here. Were they looking for her? Blah, blah, blah. Then I watched the Oxygen episode and it's like, no, her parents were like heavily concerned about her. They didn't know where she was. And then her boyfriend shot in the head. A lot of fear and a lot of concern there.
That'd be terrifying.
Yeah. So before anyone could get more information, there's another fucking shooting.
Again?
That fast.
How quick is this happening?
It's all within 48 hours.
So, like, okay, that's scary.
So, like, one of the cops is talking about the detective, and he's like, ooh, my throat was, like, addressing that drink I just took a drink of. So, the cops, this is what's also super sad, is, like, you think about it from the cops' perspective. Someone is shooting random people during the holiday season when everyone's outside and, like, visiting and walking around, whatever, blah, blah. But they're also at home unwrapping Christmas presents with their family.
Yeah.
And all these calls are happening. So imagine their families are like, it's devastating.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a sip because apparently I'm choking on my feelings.
Your body's revolting because you're having feelings.
Shut up. Before anyone could get more information, there was another shooting. 2 people were shot at a short stop mini mart outside of Dayton. 2 men had entered the store demanding money, which was given to them, but they started shooting everyone anyway. So apparently Taylor, the 16-year-old female, she had walked in, bought something small, and then right whenever she was walking out, the 2 guys come in.
Okay.
Sarah Abraham was behind the counter, and he shot her in the face.
What?
A customer was also shot. A part-time worker at the store, Jimmy Thompson, he was 71. He survived by just pretending to be dead.
Oh.
Yeah. And apparently the Gruyette, the sister, knew this family because they were a great family and they owned a lot of mini marts in the area.
Oh.
So they were well known. The cops quickly noticed the same shells at the scene and they're piecing things together, but there's still so much confusion because no one's tied together in it.
Yeah,
Besides like a sister knowing somebody.
Yeah.
Within minutes, authorities were alerted to another crime. Within minutes of that. And
so they left and just did another one.
Yeah.
Wow.
There was an armed carjacking in the exact same neighborhood. These motherfuckers. So a woman was filling up her tires with air when 2 males, both armed with guns, approach her. One of them points the gun at her and said, "You will die today."
What?
She sprints off. They shoot at her and she lives and they steal her car.
She ran away?
Yeah. Yeah. Having no clue that they're the ones that are wreaking havoc on the city.
Could you imagine?
No.
Ugh. Okay. Well, I want to go home now.
So I hate to say this part too, but like as we go back to the original killing at the payphone, they walk up to her, 2 males and one of the women, and they put the gun to her and they say, "Give me your jacket and your shoes." And she takes it off and she's like, "Please don't shoot." And one of the guys goes, "Merry Christmas, bitch," and shoots her. That's what ended up happening.
These people better be dead at the end or I'm going to be mad.
Well, you'll find out much more. And the reasoning behind it is just gonna fucking blow you away. So anyway, she ran away as they were firing the bullets at her. She wasn't injured at all. They did get possession of the car, which was a Dodge Shadow. Now investigators have the vehicle to look out for.
What's a Dodge Shadow?
No clue. I need to Google it. Google all these motherfuckers. Everyone, if you have some free time, if this is your cup of tea and you enjoy our podcast,
I hope so.
Apple TV and watch Oxygen's Homicide for the Holidays.
And if you like singing, watch Spirited.
Right. Okay, so I really feel bad for the cops, though. I probably should, and I couldn't really imagine the situation. But every hour there seems to be a new crime, more deaths, and none of them are really tying into each other. And it's all during the holidays. So the pressure, the stress of not being with their families, knowing that more families are losing loved ones every hour, and these fuckers still aren't arrested.
Yeah.
It's like just unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable. The last thing you want is a random suspect around shooting people for no apparent reason and no apparent connection. Sergeant John Huber told Homicide for the Holidays. I think the community is absolutely wondering how this could happen and why. They get on a break in the they got a break in the case when Huber spotted the black Dodge Shadow. He ran a check on the license plates, but they didn't match. He then noticed that the plates were switched with another vehicle that was parked right in front of them. So smart fucking cop to take... or maybe it was just so fucking easy. He looked into the license plate and it's like, no, but it's a minivan that's sitting right in front of it.
Yeah.
More fucking unpacks here.
Ugh.
So the car was registered to Joseph Wilkerson. He was 34.
Okay.
Police went to his home and were immediately struck by a foul odor. They thought that Joseph had something to do with it. The house was ransacked, and inside they found Wilkerson's body. His hands were tied to the bedpost, and he had been shot once in the head and once in the chest. They also found the unusual aluminum shell casings at the scene, and this is a portion of the entire story that really fucks with me. And I say we're going to dig into it in a bit, but we're going to fucking unpack it right now. So
I don't think I want to.
He gets a phone call from the 2 women. Heather's 20 and Laura is 16. The other guy's name, there's a guy named Marveus, whatever.
What?
Yeah, Marveus Keene. He's 19, and then there's another guy that seems a little bit less relevant to me right now because I can't remember his name, but he's 17.
They're so young.
So young. I hate that I just told you all the ages, but I need to kind of unpack this as we go along.
Oh my God. I was just wondering how I was going to get gas money when I was 16.
That's what they were doing. Right. It was money.
Seriously?
All of this was for money. So the 2 girls, which this is gross as fuck because he's 34 and they're 16 and 20. They basically are like, let us come over and we'll have an orgy.
Oh no.
Yeah. And he talks about, I hear that they talk about paying him for sex or an orgy. And then like the guy can't, like Keene was there. The 19-year-old Marveus Keene was there. I don't know about the other. I'm sure he was there because this group never left each other, but I don't get that part. So what they do is Taylor, which is a 16-year-old, she starts taking off her clothes, and so does Heather. Ugh. And he is completely naked and he's laying on the bed. They tie up his wrists, and as soon as they do that, Keene comes in. He puts a pillow over his face, shoots him in the head and the chest.
Oh my.
Then they throw some pillows and blankets over him and then party in his house.
What?
Then they use his house as like where they're at.
While he's there.
Dead in the bedroom. They steal his Christmas presents that were for his family underneath the Christmas tree.
Oh my. Ugh. I don't like this.
It's terrible.
I don't like
It's fucking terrible. Like always, it doesn't take long before more information comes their way. Investigators get a call from somebody claiming to have knowledge about the crime spree. He blamed the so-called downtown posse for the crimes. Here is where I insert that we make fun of the name.
Wait, what?
It's called Downtown Posse.
That's what they're called?
That is what they are called.
That is
okay. Fucking losers. That's how you can tell it's like led by a 16-year-old.
God.
In the meantime, Huber monitored the Dodge Shadow. So he saw it, and now he's just watching it, waiting for people to come back. He confronted 3 people about to take off in the car. One of the men escaped, But police took the other two, Marveus Keene, 19, and Laura Taylor, 16, into custody. Those two were dating, from my understanding. They also recovered 2 firearms from the car. The pair were indeed part of a group that called themselves the Downtown Posse. So when they finally walk up to the car, it seems like a lot's happening while they're watching him or the vehicle. Because imagine this guy's watching the Dodge. He sends other people to the dude's house. They find the house. Oh. He's still sitting here. The 3 show up. Taylor the entire time is screaming to Keene. The 16-year-old screaming to the 19-year-old. Because they made it seem like Keene was the one who was really running all of this. And I think it's fucking Taylor, the 16-year-old fucking bitch. And I'll talk to you more about that. God. But she is screaming the entire time to shoot the cop. And he would not shoot him. Wow. And I'm assuming he wouldn't shoot him because of being a cop killer. That's the only thing I can assume. They shot so many people for no reason. I can only assume he just didn't want a dead cop under him. Wow. Yeah.
I have so many. I'm going to hold my questions, but I have a lot.
So they decide to question the suspects first, and they start with Taylor. He was like, 16-year-old girl. She'll be the most scared. It'll be easier for us to get her.
No.
Buckle the fuck up.
I can tell because your face.
So she never said a word. When I asked if she wanted to use it, so he was like, we always try to make sure that people are comfortable. He was like, I asked her if she wanted to use the restroom. She stood up and urinated on the floor.
What?
While making eye contact with him and sat back down.
Like a dog? Like when dogs poop?
She literally just stood up and pissed herself.
Oh, in her pants too?
Yeah.
Why? Like, fuck you, I'm just going to do this?
Yeah.
That's so
psychotic.
Weird.
So psychotic.
So weird.
But the others, all of the others were talking. They were singing motherfucking canaries.
Yeah, they're like 2 years old.
So here's how it started. The crime spree had started when Taylor and her boyfriend Keene decided to rob Wilkerson by promising him sex in exchange for money, whatever.
Did they know him?
They had to have. Yeah, to some degree.
I just because that's before social media. So
yeah,
I'm
you're
just
right.
Like, how did they?
They called him too. So
they looked in the phone book and they were like, 1, 2, 3, you.
Right.
You.
They recruited Matthews to help with the plan.
Okay.
And that's Heather Matthews, the 20-year-old. They arrived at his home, so the third guy wasn't there. The other guy, not the third guy, the second guy. Yeah. It's 2 guys, 2 girls.
Yeah.
They arrived at his home, tied him up, stole things, and then they shot him in the chest, as I had mentioned, and also in the head. Taylor and Matthews later testified that actually Keene is the one that had shot him in the chest, but Taylor went back and shot him in the head.
What? The pee pants?
Yep. Ugh. And then they continued to like party in the house for like 48 hours.
Pieces of shit.
Yeah. They stole his car, recruited Matthews, the 17-year-old boyfriend Smith. So Heather's 20 and she's dating the 17-year-old, hanging out with a 16-year-old and a 19-year-old.
Ew.
Yeah.
And I hate that her name is Mermaid.
Oh, and she's real gross looking.
Really?
Oh my God. She's the worst looking out of all. She is a dumpster fire ugly fuck.
Well, what's her middle name? Call her by that. I want to be tied to her.
I just keep calling her Matthews, honey. I haven't been calling her Heather.
Oh, I know. And thank you for that.
Yeah. Later that Christmas Eve, they went after Matthews' ex-boyfriend, Jeffrey Wright, but he managed to escape and he didn't die. So they went after. Taylor went and shot her ex-boyfriend in the head, and then and then she goes to try to.
What the fuck is wrong with these people?
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Did they have records before? No, I'm just.
I can only assume, but I don't know. Not Taylor, I don't think. I think she was the good one. On Christmas Day, Taylor convinced Maddox to take her for a drive. So Maddox is... Oh, wait. Never mind. Sorry. I almost got the last names mixed up. So on Christmas Day, Taylor convinced her ex-boyfriend, Maddox, to take her for a drive while the other 3 followed behind in another car. He notices that there's a car trailing him, and he gets scared. And so Taylor shoots him in the head and jumps out of the car.
Stop it.
Yeah. That's whenever they went to the mini mart right after to murder Abraham.
Okay. This is a lot.
It is a lot.
This is a lot.
It's a lot. But that wasn't the end of the killing spree.
God damn it.
So Taylor's priest is like, he calls the cops and he's like, I can't fathom that Laura's in this. Like, let me talk to her. And so whenever she talks to him, she tells him that they murdered more people. No. They just hadn't found the bodies yet. Oh, and he goes, so was she crying? Was she remorseful? How was she? And he goes, no, she bragged about it to her priest.
If she's not... Okay.
Investigators learned that the group were worried about 2 of their friends, Wendy Cottrill, who was only 16, and Marvin Washington was only 18. They were worried that they would implicate them in the murders as they had been present during the attempt on Wright's life.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there. Like, keeping in mind this was only 48 hours, essentially.
I keep forgetting this was only 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yes. So it was like 3 a.m. whenever they had called the first guy to like go over to his house and kill him. And he was like round 1. And it was like 3 a.m. on Christmas Day, I believe.
Wow.
And so the confusion, not the confusion, there's no fucking confusion here, but they killed them so much. Like they killed so frequently. I just wondered how, I don't know, were they like, they were in the car, I guess, whenever they were trying to attack and everyone got away. And then they were like, fuck this. So that's unbelievable. Apparently the person who'd called in and told them about the downtown posse first of all was one of the other people that was like truly terrified that they were going to come kill him.
Wow.
Yeah. Like he was 100%. They said whenever he called, he was 100% concerned for his life.
Wow.
So they picked the 2 up. This is so sad. So they picked the 2 up, brought them to a gravel road, and ordered them to get out of the car. Smith and Keene then executed them. I can only imagine how terrifying this would have been. The other people had a small amount of time to react, but these young kids were driven out to nowhere and executed, knowing that their friends, in air quotes, were cold killers and really didn't care about anyone's life at that time. And they were just like thrown on a gravel road.
Wow. And driving out there, they knew nothing good was going to happen.
Oh, they knew it was happening.
Like nothing good is going to
There's
happen.
no way they didn't know.
Man.
Supposedly, all of this started because of Laura Taylor, Miss Piss on the Floor, who once more was only 16, said, "Let's add some drama to our lives."
Stop it right the fuck now. Really?
Yeah. She was like, "Let's do some fucked up shit." That's all it was. And they literally say that it was fun. And whenever they get arrested, they show no remorse and they're just like...
None of them?
None of them. That's why the second guy was like, yeah. So then Keene was like, "Merry Christmas, bitch," and shot her in the face and was like, "Pow, pow, 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 pow." Like, talks about it.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm going to have to go watch this, aren't I?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to come over to your house while you're gone today and use your $5 that you spent.
Please do. I literally sat there and contemplated spending that $5 way too hard. I was like, come on, Brooklyn. You spent more on less.
It's worth it.
Are you ready for this dumb one?
No, I
The
want
Heather
you to
chick.
be done.
I'm close.
No, because this story's so
Oh,
bad.
I'm really close. I'm like at the end.
Okay.
The Heather chick,
Okay.
she blames her going along with all of it on peer pressure.
She's the oldest one, right?
And she goes that she wanted to do what they was doing. I want to do what they was doing. Like her...
Is she...
white trash like
IQ?
you never imagined in your entire life. And yeah, she was the 20-year-old who wanted to be like the 16, 17, and 19-year-old.
So do you know, like, she has to have a lower...
It was Taylor and Keene. Taylor, Keene, and the other guy, I think, did most of the like actual...
Why is she... Oh, okay.
The trial...
I'm mad. Okay.
I'm not happy.
Okay.
The trial was held in the summer of 1993. Heather Matthews agreed to a deal, while DeMarcus Smith, which is the guy that I apparently never remembered his name and acted like he was not that relevant, though he was really fucking relevant, pled guilty in the morning of the trial. So I waited till the morning of and decided to plead guilty.
Even they're even dramatic about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were probably just holding out. You didn't know what they were going to get, and because when you're talking about up to 4, those 2 were the back burners. The fucking macaroni and cheese that was boiling in that motherfucking pot was Taylor and Keene.
Don't take something good and put them with those fuckwads. Mac and cheese is the best, and they are terrible humans.
Well,
what?
Both Laura Taylor and Marvelous Keene, Marveus.
I like Marvelous. No, he's not marvelous.
He's not marvelous. It's just a fucking dumb name. Marveus Keene, they went to trial. The 2 shittiest of the 2 went to fucking trial.
Of course they did.
And they were found guilty. Duh.
Did they get on the
That's what they
stand?
were saying too. They had witnesses. Like the cops were like,
Everyone knows.
Everyone. There was no question that it was them. The only time they showed emotion is when it came time to be sentenced, is what Dr. Rhonda Gruette had said, which was her sister who died.
Yeah.
Then they were crying and doing all of that. They never once showed any emotion until they were sentenced.
How much did they get?
So Taylor, Smith, and Matthews
Life
were all
without parole.
sentenced to life in prison.
Without parole?
I didn't see that, but they have 100 years, like a minimum of 100 years.
Oh my
Keene was sentenced to death. He was executed on July 21st, 2009 by lethal injection when he was 36 years old.
I was going to ask how old he was at the time. What were his last words?
I have no words.
That's what he said?
That's was his... would you like to know his meal? because I definitely found that and inserted
You
it.
know,
I know
damn
you.
good and well. God, I love you so much.
Okay, so he had a porterhouse steak with A1 sauce, a pound of jumbo fry. Okay, real quick, I'm also gonna say this is how you know that this guy like was dumb because of what he ordered. Please don't judge me for that. But a porterhouse steak, he ordered it with A1 sauce, which means he's never had a porterhouse steak, and he just saw it on a movie one time. A pound of jumbo fried shrimp.
I love A1 sauce.
With cocktail sauce, French fries and onion rings with ketchup, dinner rolls and butter, 2 plums, a mango, a pound of seedless white grapes, German chocolate cake, 2 bottles of Pepsi, and 2 bottles of A&W cream soda.
What?
Yeah.
Man, I like some of his choices, but I don't agree with all of them.
None of those would make it to my
And since I'm
final
hungover,
countdown.
all of this sounds terrible. So if you were saying that, I was like,
Dr. Rhonda Grieta, I'll kind of end it here, but she said, my family is still feeling the loss. We're still not the same. When something tragic happens, it disrupts those traditions and leaves something that is hurtful in its place. Now something ugly is standing right there and you just can't block it out.
how? God,
That is the story of the Christmas killing. 6.
in 48 hours, and they were 12. They were
It was
all, like,
probably less
2
than
years
fucking
old.
12 hours. Or I mean less than 20, or less than 48, I'd say.
That's awful.
I think it was 6. Yes.
I lost count.
Yeah, it's 6 days. Yeah, that was, yes.
Man.
I know, and what it did to like the community too. It's so many years later, and it's still in the headlines. Like they talk about it every
How
holiday.
could you not?
Yeah,
And then, like, think about this. It was before social media. It was before smartphones. So you wouldn't know. Like now, if something like that happened, like right now in Owensboro, Kentucky, like we would know immediately. Okay, well, don't go anywhere. You know.
No, the havoc would be 10 times worse now.
Yeah. So like people didn't know. Like, I don't know.
They only found out about the dead bodies after they happened.
Yeah.
But they did know that it was on the west side of Dayton.
Yeah.
So, like, they were aware of a location, but it's, I mean...
Like, during it, they could put it on the radio, I guess, but, like, you wouldn't have a
the
way
news
to get
breaks was everywhere.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was news and television still in 92.
Well, back when the Flintstones...
I was like, you could have turned on the radio. Like, yeah, I guess. Or the fucking TV. God.
I'm smart. It just feels like so long ago.
It's really not.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, it really is, but still.
Well, fuck those people.
Yeah.
And fuck that girl for having my name.
It was very sad. I just think it's crazy too. At the end of the day, the story was so long. I really didn't dig into them, like who and the whats and the whys.
Fuck them.
Because they're not really the story here. It's I don't know. It's what happened. It's me just telling you what happened.
That and the priest and the... Okay, I'm angry now. So thanks for pissing me off today.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
You do what you can.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Do you like that?
Yay! I love when she gets sing-songy.
Sing-songy.
Okay.
All right, tell me your story.
We're back in, though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I won't say that.
What?
I wasn't going to say anything in particular. I'm just excited about this drink.
Do you
I
want
haven't
me to-
eaten, so I probably should have done that.
I mean, I never sobered up. so-
Got it.
Never sobered up. Not at all. I'm going to tell you my story, but it's not a warm, fuzzy feel good. Let's just say that.
Do we ever have a warm, fuzzy feel good?
I love when fuddy. Warm, fuddy.
Already
Warm and fuddy.
warm and fuddy feel good. I wish we did.
I don't.
What if we had some warm and fuzzy stories?
We can try, I guess.
No one's going to listen.
No.
No one gives 2 fucks about what you want to hear is the sad, shitty gore of crazy stories.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what you
I'm
wanna
going
hear.
to stay on theme with this one. It's so weird seeing you drink out of a Smirnoff bottle.
Is it? This
Jizz.
casual.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to take a drink.
I'm drinking the very little bits left in this bottle.
Okay. This one doesn't. You always have like quirky little names for yours. I do not. So I'm going to tell you about Alexis Valdez. You ready for this? Nope. Okay. My sources, Wikipedia, CBSnews.com, NBC Chicago, and there was a true crime edition on YouTube. Oh, I forgot about that too. And I listened to a little bit of a podcast called Where Murder Meets Mystery. It was episode 7 of that one.
What sucks on these whenever we do super themed, I feel like I've read I've skimmed every bad murder.
Well, this one though, there's a lot, but there's
Love.
not.
Is it Unrequited Love?
What?
This?
No.
Oh, then I don't know who it is. I'm excited to
This
think
is a
I know.
boy. Alexis is a boy.
Oh no, I hope it's not the one I think it is.
It is probably, but here we go. Okay, shockingly, there's not a ton of info on this, and at the end of it, you're gonna be like, "How is there no info on this?" Okay,
That's how I feel too. No one.
that one I saw everywhere, but I didn't read it because you had already said you were gonna do it. But this is like, okay, you should hear about this, and if this happened now, you would. I don't know. I don't understand why there's not. I don't dive into like the details of his past because I couldn't literally find very much of it. And all of the stories that I read, they were all talking about how the holidays, they're very stressful for a lot of people. I know we're fortunate enough to have a lot of joy with ours, but apparently not everyone is so lucky. And Alexis Valdez, he was an 18-year-old boy born and raised in Chicago. His name is Alexis, and that makes me think of Schitt's Creek, but he sucks. So, and sorry if you're...
Alexis sucks.
Huh?
Alexis Valdez.
Yeah,
he sucks.
He sucks. Like, just keep that in mind. And he lived there in a basement level apartment in the Belmont Garden area with his aunt and her boyfriend, Sylvistri Diaz Hernandez, and he was 41 years old. And I looked up everywhere, could not find her name, and I'm assuming she doesn't want to be tied to any of this. So
I wonder why.
yeah. Okay. I don't want to tell this because your story was so bad, but we're going to do it anyway.
No, that's what our jobs are.
I know, it's hard. They agreed to let him move in early 2013, but they wanted him to contribute to the bills, to, work and to go to school and then pitch in around the house and help out. At first he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll do that." And then of course, 2 seconds later and he decides, "Yeah, just kidding. I'm not doing any of that." And so that caused a lot of tension in their household. The neighbors, they said they could hear him arguing all the time. Like, it was bad. Cut to December of 2013. His aunt and Sylvester got tired of his bullshit, and they were like, "Yeah, you got to go." So he only made it like 6 months. So
that's a lot longer than I could if someone's like, "I'm going to come in and help pay for everything," and they're just a fucking fuckball.
Yeah, like not going to school, not working like he said he was going to, wouldn't pick up after himself. So...
yeah, ain't nobody here to clean up after somebody. That shit would have me ape shit.
Yeah. And obviously, this deeply upset the already angered teen. And they said that at this point, there was the point of no return. He was already like an angry teenager. And then this just...
those are terrifying.
Yeah. It's weird that we both talked about them.
If you have an angry teen...
get them help.
Yes, because...
don't
their
just
emotions,
say they're teen angst. It's way worse.
Yes, their emotions are like fueled by 10 fires that we don't have. Like, yeah. Oof.
And I wrote, now I'm not a psychologist, obviously, but I do talk a little bit about the psychology and all this. And I'm just repeating the info. I'm not pretending to know more than what I do. I'm not like Dr. Phil. I'm like, I'm a doctor. Like, no. So just so you know that.
Thank you. I had thought this entire time.
I know.
That you were a licensed psychologist.
Is it because of the diploma? On the wall?
Mostly the glasses.
Did I print it?
That's what.
Mostly
I
the
totally
glasses.
thought. Now I'm a little bit disappointed and we should probably
break up.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we do it after Christmas?
Yes.
I really want my presents. Okay.
Heard. And same.
Okay. Alexis went into a dark place mentally, and he apparently did not leave this state of mind. So like he got real dark real quick, never left. On Christmas Eve, he was at home alone at the apartment slamming beers.
How old is he again?
18.
Okay.
18. His aunt, she was out at a party, and Sylvester was visiting his family. His aunt's boyfriend came home, went to grab a beer, and then found out the little shit drank it all.
That would make me so mad.
Like, right? Especially because, like, you come home and all you want, and I said, because I said, instead of yelling and getting pissed, which I would have, because who doesn't want a beer after visiting your family?
It's the holidays.
Yeah.
Like,
and he came home, and then instead of getting mad at him, he was just like, come on, we're going to go get more beer. So they go on a beer run.
What a nice guy.
Like, he could have flipped out, like they always argued, but he chose not to, being Christmas Eve. Before they left, Alexis hid a fucking hammer behind the door. Like, snuck it back there on the way out. They leave for a beer run, and they come back, and Alexis lets Sylvester go in first.
Of course. Fucking A, man.
Okay. He grabs the hammer. He knows. He grabs the hammer, and he knocked him out cold with one hit, and then he fell to the ground. He hit him 10 more times, and then he's like, oh, shit, someone's going to hear this. So then he blasts loud music and, like, shuts all the blinds real quick because he didn't do that.
He's drunk, right?
The boy? I'm assuming. Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to understand his like mental state.
Oh yeah, but he obviously
not mental state like.
No, I know.
Am I drunk and I need to close the blinds, or like where how he reacts to it all?
This little shit goes and gets a butcher knife.
Fucking A.
He starts dismembering him.
Fucking
limb by limb.
In the living room?
Yeah. Sis, he cut off both of his arms, his head.
With a butcher knife?
Yeah, his arms, his head, his ears, and his fucking nose with a butcher knife. Then he cut him open from his pelvis to his neck. Yeah, your chin is on the floor right now. Then guess what he did? He plucked out his eyeballs with his bare hands. Like, this is not easy to do. Like, no, your face.
I'm having a hard time.
Well, it gets worse. So, guess what he did after this?
Okay, can we not do any more guess whats? Because this is very devastating.
I know,
and I cannot guess. And I don't want to guess.
Okay, I won't say guess.
Just give it to me straight.
Okay, I will. He left Sylvistri's head, ears, nose, and eyeballs on his aunt's bed as a Christmas present for her. And that's a quote from him. I'm not being crude. Like, he said that. So on Christmas Day, early morning, Alexis calls the cops and reports a body. CBS said that when the 911 dispatcher said, "Hey, did you try CPR?" And he laughed and said, "Well, the body has no head." Yeah. They were like,
Did you listen to the...
No. I couldn't.
I never asked that, but you would always ask me that. So I figured I'd ask you that.
I couldn't. I thought about trying to look it up. Huh?
You could have. You're strong. You're a strong woman.
Well, I appreciate you.
I just wondered what kind of laugh he had.
Well, if you look up his face, he looks like he would have a creepy...
I'm reaching into my pocket. I'm grabbing myself on Heather. I'm only Googling.
I know.
What's the dude's name?
Alexis Valdez. And you have to type in Alexis Valdez murder because apparently there's like an actor or something with the same name.
I feel like my phone should just know.
That you're looking up a murderer?
Yeah, because it knows everything.
Do you look him up?
Dude.
What?
Sylvester Stallone. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
So this guy, let me just, if I may, explain what he looks like.
Yes. The victim.
So the murderer
Alexis.
looks like a teeny tiny.
He looks like a pipsqueak.
He looks like somebody who would definitely get like slammed by somebody if he got into a fight.
Yeah. Sylvestri is pretty
huge.
He's a big guy.
He is a huge guy.
And apparently he was kind of like his kids loved him too and everything, but we'll get to that. The podcast pointed out too that Alexis, when he called in, he kept saying the body and he wouldn't even say like my aunt's boyfriend. Like he just kept saying the body, which apparently this is called distancing language. And this is either where it can be done intentionally or not, but it allows them to dehumanize the victims through linguistic and physical management of distance.
I'm sure of that.
Like that. Okay.
Look at you giving some big...
I know. Thank you. It's the glasses.
I believe it.
It's the glasses. The cops get there right. And when they pull up, Alexis is sitting out front in a lawn chair, playing on an iPad, soaked in blood. Just sitting outside. Casual.
This dude has lost his mind.
Yeah. It's like casual Christmas morning. Like, what's he playing Candy Crush? What are you doing? Why are you outside? And on a fucking iPad looking like Carrie's cousin. Like, and... Like
that's so
and it's
bizarre.
Chicago, so like you're just outside on Christmas
in the freezing.
Yeah. So they walk up to him and he's like, "Why aren't you arresting me?" When they walk up to him, the police are like, "Well, do you have any questions?" And he just starts blurting everything out. He goes, "Yeah, I just killed a man. He's in the basement." And then he tomahawks the iPad on the ground, and then they put cuffs on him. It's like he just
tomahawks.
He like throws it down.
Oh, okay.
That's I can't just say he threw it down.
I know. I didn't know what tomahawk.
Like he tomahawked it.
Got it. Okay. I was like, I did not know tomahawking was a descriptor of that. Now I know.
Oh, yeah.
The more you know.
Yeah. So, and I wrote such teen angst because clearly he had a lot of that shit. Okay. He also told them that he would have killed his aunt too if she would have come home, but thankfully she didn't because could you imagine walking into like bloodbath, then going to your room and what was on?
Nope.
Yeah. Like.
Nope.
And then she would have to go through that and then probably die if she came home. So. Thank goodness she did not. He goes in, he's held without bond, and then he tells him everything about leaving the Christmas present, quote unquote, and they said he's unfazed at all. He acts like he literally left her a present on her bed when he says it.
Yeah. That is crazy.
I know. The articles that I read were saying that although the crime show they all talk about dismemberment quite a bit. Like it seems more common, but it's really kind of rare than that because they, like Law and Order and the other ones.
Okay.
Why am I blanking? Like CSI, they do talk about dismemberment a lot, but
do they?
Well, I mean, it's kind of common on those shows.
I don't feel like I only feel like it is if somebody does it because they have to dispose of the body, and that's the best way to do it. And most of them, that's where they struggle.
Yeah, but they were talking
it's so
about
physically challenging.
And I knew you would say that because I was going to say, well, you fuck with turkeys and meat a lot, and I know it's like gross to compare, but like that doesn't seem easy, let alone a fucking human.
No.
It's like gross.
No.
Ugh.
It's so much.
And a butcher knife.
I want to know if it's a cleaver. Like, I need to know more about the fucking knife that he was wielding to understand.
They said butcher knife. That's all
But
they
his
said.
head, because this guy was a big boy.
Yeah.
His neck is the size of my head.
Yeah.
That would take so much effort and time to get through just decapitating him.
Yeah. And then the experts were saying that the apartment was so small and they were like basically on top of each other that didn't help either. Like tensions boiled over from that. That did not help. Mm-hmm. They also said that crime scene workers and the law enforcement, they were so deeply disturbed by the crime scene, like how bad it was. Like he had to be, they were talking about how mentally disturbed he had to be able to be okay being 18 years old, seeing that, doing that. And like they see bad things every day. And it got to them so bad, like going in there. And he was just like, meh, like that's insane. Nancy Grace, she's so, God, I know.
I hope we get to see her at CrimeCon.
Oh my God. We're going to put a pin in that.
Okay.
For sure. Because yes.
That's why I think so, because everyone in these shows are going to be at CrimeCon. Oh my. Right? All the hosts of the good shows?
Yeah.
Continue.
Okay. Nancy Grace, she was quoted saying that she's been to thousands of crime scenes and there's no way he could plead insanity because it took a certain level of patience and commitment and like he planned it out. He left the hammer, he had the knife, you know what I mean? Like he can't just be like, oh, I snapped, because you didn't. You had to, that took a while to do all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the psychoanalysts, Dr. Bethany Marshall, she showed up a lot in all this stuff, but she said that even though he's not considered legally insane, he's obviously deeply disturbed, has sociopathic tendencies, impulse control problems, like, but on a scary pathological level, not like he does it a little bit, like he's terrifying. She called it, I don't even remember, catatonic. Is that it?
Catatonic, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, thank you.
I can't see the word, but I'm guessing.
Yeah. Homicide, which that basically means that they're compelled to kill. That's always there. Like they always have that compulsion, but it increases and decreases over time. So he has context dependent thinking, which means he can only think about the present right now. Like he can't think about the past and what decisions he has made or what he does now is going to affect him later in life.
It's like he wrote the book, The Power of Now. We're focusing on meditating and living in the moment.
Well, he needed to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because throw that with like all the rage. And she said that's why she thinks he was able to do that. Because of all, like, that's what her theory anyway. Since I couldn't dive into his past, this all was interesting to me to see how could he do that? You're 18 years old, like, just like your people. Like, how do they even fathom doing that?
It's also one thing to just shoot people in cold blood.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different to then treat them like a frog in your science class.
Exactly. And then I saw interviews with Sylvistri's children, Sylvistri Jr. and Selena, and they were late teens. When this happened, and they were told their dad died, but they didn't know how. And Selena heard from her older relatives who heard on the news, and Sylvistri had to go and identify him. And
Sylvistri had to go identify him?
Junior.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Junior had to go identify his dad, and that's how he found out. And the only way that he could officially identify him is because they have matching tattoos.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like
how did his aunt handle that?
I couldn't find her name.
Yeah,
she's nowhere. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. So, and they had lost their parents, or they had lost his kids had lost their mom too recently before this.
How?
So, I don't think it said, or I didn't look up. Yeah, I just wrote that they just lost their mother not too long before that. So the coroner told him that the body was so bad that he couldn't be like buried, so they had to cremate him. But he didn't have life insurance or anything, so they had to start a GoFundMe for that. And
what year was this?
2013.
Okay.
Yeah. And okay, back to Alexis. He went from having no record at all, like he never got in trouble at all, just like Bruce Pardo from last time, and then all this shit. It's just insane to me that he ended up pleading guilty to murder of Sylvistri Diaz Hernandez, and he got 33 years. So he'll be eligible to get out in 2050 when he's about 55.
That's bullshit. He should never get out. He has psychological issues with proof and tendencies that are going to make him continue to kill in an environment that only hones killers and elevates their negative thoughts and feelings.
Yeah. And he got 33 years. Yep.
That's unbelievable.
And that is the terrible story of the murder of Sylvistri Diaz Hernandez.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that awful? And you're right. They're just going to put him back. Like, he's going to go into jail, probably get no counseling. I'm just guessing. I'm assuming that they're not going to be like, we should help you.
I mean, it's our prison system. I don't think that's their end game.
Yeah. So then he's just going to get out. And
he's going to get out and do it again. And he'll be still fit enough to cause a lot. I was like, okay, well, I wasn't doing math because, you know, I just accidentally put my lip on this microphone. So I have a lot of feelings about that. Anywho, I wasn't doing the math and I was like, well, maybe he'll be like 78 or something. You know, like too old. I mean, you're never too old to
but
kill.
And he's going with all these other killers and all these other bad people so he can learn other things from them or get
that is what
ideas and maybe work out for 33 years.
Yeah,
because he's a little pipsqueak. He could come out.
Who knows?
You know what? I hope he's holding somebody's pocket.
It's always your phrase.
Well, it's true. He looks like he would.
Yeah.
He would definitely get passed around like a sack of little russet potatoes. Is that what it's called? Russet?
Yeah.
Is that the kind of potato?
A russet potato, yeah.
Look at me knowing cooking words. Maybe I'm a doctor.
Is knowing the type of a potato knowing cooking words?
Do you cook it? Cooking word.
It's just a vegetable. I don't know what to say from that. Well, that was such a bummer.
Yeah, I had yeah. This is officially our last episode of 2022.
That's wild. That means we completed a year.
We sure did.
Yeah. It's like January 23rd when we recorded our first one.
What are you going to get me?
Nothing.
It's our podiversary.
No, it's not. It would be the first time we launched would be April 2nd.
Oh, now look at her. But you guys hear it.
But the first time we recorded a podcast was January 23rd.
So you have to give me 2 presents.
Okay.
Yes.
This is what it's like being friends with her, guys.
It's our tradition.
No.
God.
What a bummer.
She's got teen angst too.
We hope that all of you guys have a wonderful holiday. I hope that it's festive and joyous. And I hope that your New Year's is beautiful. And I hope that 2022 was a banging year, but 2023 is only going to be even better.
Yeah.
That's my goals.
Everything that she said, I repeat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The next 2 weeks are going to be a lot of merry and bright, a lot of not thinking about murders.
Yeah. I need a mental cleanse.
Oh, I could use some time to not. It's heavy. It gets heavy. Mm-hmm. I love you guys.
You know what else
into
gets heavy?
But
Me through the holidays. We love you.
As does 78% of all Americans, I'm sure.
78.
If not 92.
You would do anything to work a stat into
I don't
stuff.
know that stat though for sure. So nobody quote me on it. But
angry emails.
Yeah. So do we have anything else? Are we doing
rate, review, subscribe?
I know. I was just trying to think if there's anything we want to talk about. Anything about Christmas or New Year's? I think we've hit on what we're going to be doing.
Yeah. Go listen to the old episodes and tell your friends. We should start like a pyramid scheme. If you tell 3 friends and they tell 3 friends, you can win our love and affection.
You can get a t-shirt.
What?
We have to do next year. We're going to do some merch.
Let's do it.
We're doing merch, guys.
Okay.
Yay.
She said that. Just so you know, Brooklyn Maple said that.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yay.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
You
look alive.
Yes. Stay alive.
Theodore, can I pet that dog?